Just an excerpt from the Mood Journal, the one that was featured on the Dr. Phil show. Some of my favorite passages from that I might read and put on my blog. But definitely going to pull the plug and finally publish this dang old thing. Anyway, July 19, 2012. Wrath. I am currently at war with quite a few folks, entities, people, whatever. Why does it seem as though my life in the military will never end? I didn't sign up for this shit. I was totally drafted, assigned, then reassigned, and blown the hell up more than once. I often wonder, what would it be like to just completely go AWOL? War is exhausting. Well, the way I do war, it is. In my book of war, I don't employ the tactics of deception. I don't utilize lies, and I definitely do not cheat or steal. If I can't tackle you full-on guerrilla style face-to-face and directly, then it really isn't war for me. It's just an unpleasant skirmish. A few years ago, when I was assaulted by the people that I am now suing in federal court, wrath was triggered. The fact that I was abused and traumatized was nothing new for me, but it was the appearance of wrath on the scene that surprised me. In all of my skirmishes throughout life, and even during the Great War of losing custody of my daughter, war has never assigned me to wrath before. After I was assaulted and traumatized, wrath laid dormant. Reason and logic and even responsibility blindsided me. They actually wanted a temporary leave from war. I suppose it was due. I had just returned from war the previous month during a skirmish on behalf of my late mother, and I was so tired of fighting. When the assault occurred, I saw wrath for just an instant, but I gave in to surrender and avoidance instead, and danced with them for a while. Sexual assault is a powerful and often permanent violation of the soul. As a young child and teenager, I have been sexually assaulted multiple times. One adult, 2 boyfriends, and 1 complete stranger. Actually, there are some other ones I didn't include in this damn book. I do not include the attempted sexual assaults, I guess it says in my history. I haven't read as in ages. Those that I ran from and never looked back. The aftermath of the assault is like a fire that you carry around with you. Sometimes just the smell of the smoke will reignite within you memories from the time that you were burned. You might see something on the television that is similar to the time that you were lying on the floor, watching everything crumble into ashes around you. The impact and the memories are forever burdened upon your soul. You cannot squelch it out with water, damp towels, or stamp it out with suffocation. No matter where you go, it follows you. It's always there, simmering, just waiting to spark and take off into a rolling blaze of fury. After an assault, I generally retreat back to base. Mercy tends to my wounds as shame and guilt riddle me with insults and questions. Fear and panic do a pretty good job by immobilizing all of my troops, and there is nothing left to do but choke on my own sobs as I slowly give in to smoke inhalation. It took me about a year to gather up my troops again. The authorized leave was officially over. It was time to go to war again. I thought about going AWOL. When the order came in from war, I thought, for once, can I just let this one go? I know that what happened to me was painful and wrong, and I know that scorn wants them to pay. But during the leave of absence from war, I was just beginning to see peace and joy again. I thought that perhaps I had finally figured out how to put the fire to rest once and for all. I wanted to forget and sink my head into the sands of illusion. Anger and grudge zip-tied Reason's hands behind her. Vengeance and fury threatened logic with extinction, and war rode in with a jug of gasoline and used vindication as lighter fluid. The fire within me was reignited. But it didn't just spark and flicker, it spread. But this time, I wasn't afraid to burn. As I stepped back into time, recalling the horrific sexual assaults that I've endured, I wasn't afraid. War held my hand and led the way as I met this new tool I'd learned to utilize. Wrath taught me that I should not look to put out the fire, but instead I should allow it to consume me so that I might burn my enemy upon contact. War demanded total annihilation of this enemy, and there would be no more leaves of absence. Vindication, fury, and wrath devised a plan of attack, and surprisingly, it included Mania. They would use her for a lot of their dirty work. She is crafty, atypically ingenious, and if given the proper support, even I feel bad for the enemy. So now that the battle lines are drawn and everyone knows their position in this war, who is this new soldier showing up on the scene? Persecution?